What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Lunch Table Sports Podcast. In today's episode, we will be going over a fantasy football mock draft. This is the first podcast Adyn's been in about 2 weeks. He had a nice trip in Alaska. So,
Yeah, excited to be back. So this is gonna be a fun episode for us. Mock draft for fantasy, so it's a good episode to be back.
yeah, there's no other season than fantasy football season. So I'm super excited that it's finally upon us. Me and Adyn are in the same league. He's actually got pick 2 in our league. So he's going to be drafting 2 in this draft. I'm going to be drafting 9 in this draft. We'll go over our picks a little bit. This isn't a PPR mock that we're in, so the rankings might be a little weird. The only really weird one is how low Eckler is. He's ranked 22. But for me, he's definitely a top 6 player. So that's only the really odd one, but we'll be drafting like it's a PPR league.
Yeah, so we're gonna reach on a couple players in this, but it's just gonna be like a PPR. Like I feel like most people do PPR leagues, for the most part. So I think you guys will understand how we're drafting and why we're taking some guys
A little higher. So 13 seconds to go. I think number 1 has to be McCaffrey. I don't know if this guy doesn't take McCaffrey. I don't know what he's doing, but definitely McCaffrey is my number 1 player. We'll see what's right.
I agree with that.
Welcome to the best day of the year, draft day.
Sorry about the echo, but you went Devontae Adams. All right, this guy is definitely goofing around.
All right, so I mean, obviously I would take McCaffrey here, but I'm going to treat it like he did take McCaffrey. So in our PPR league, I'm going to go Kamara at 2.
Good pick.
I think he's the number 2 running back for me, or fantasy player, I guess, but definitely running back for fantasy. And there's no question that he'll be a top 3 running back for me this year.
Yeah. No. All right. I already know who I'm hoping to get in our draft, but we see Saquon go 6. I'm definitely staying away from Saquon this year. I'm not a big fan. He's not really. They said he could possibly miss the first 2 to 3 weeks in the season. I'm not going to gamble that with my first round pick. I like to play it safe. So I'm definitely staying away from Saquon. I like Zeke a lot higher than other people just because I think with how Dak is going to come back. He was an elite running back last year with Dak. He started to go downhill a little bit. We're just watching Hard Knocks and seeing how improved of a mindset he's gotten. I think that's going to help him a ton. As you see, he goes right here before me. But if I was actually drafting for my draft here in this pick, I know he's a little down here, but I'm going to take Austin Eckler. I mean, in a PPR league, he's a top 6 player for me. I love his receiving and rushing ability. He's going to be the main guy for that Los Angeles offense. So I'm excited to add him.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, some people might think that's a reach even in a PPR draft, but I like that pick a lot. He's a clear-cut number 1 in that offense, and he's going to get all the carries and all the receptions out of the backfield.
Yeah, most definitely. Now we see this guy's definitely an auto. But for me, my game plan is I always like to get the top elite running back and then another top elite receiver to complement him. So you see this guy goes Taylor and then Nick Chubb. I think with Tyreek Hill still on the board, there's no way I'm passing him up. I mean, with that big offense, Mahomes, it's a very pass-heavy offense. He's one of the top receivers in the NFL. I think when you get a chance to add a guy like Tyreek Hill to your fantasy team, you absolutely pounce on it.
Yeah, I like that pick, but I think I'm taking mine a little differently. We're at different draft spots. I'm going back-to-back running backs. I think the receiver class is so deep for fantasy. There's so many good wide receivers. I think that for me, I'm going to wait a little bit on the receiver. Go with receiver 3-4, I think, is what my plan is for this and for our real draft coming up.
Well, there's definitely a lot of good receivers still left here on the board.
Those running backs, they fly off quick, though. So that's why I think that the running back's the most important position for fantasy. And I think you got to get 2 good running backs to help out your fantasy team.
Yeah, and I definitely think we haven't talked about this yet with the injury of Travis Etienne. It's really unfortunate what happened, but I think of a fantasy perspective, I think James Robinson's fantasy value has increased a ton. We're going to see him back at the volume that he was last year. He was a top 10 fantasy running back last year. Absolutely think he has RB2, RB1 upside now. I also think another player that benefits a ton from this is Laviska Shenault, because they're talking about playing ETN at slot receiver, playing him at running back, playing him all over the place. I think Shenault can be that player for Urban Meyer in this Jags offense. So I'm excited to see what he can do this year.
Yeah, I agree with that. And now that you bring it up, that's exactly what I'm taking here. James Robinson. He's a top 10 fantasy running back last year. And I think with ETN going out, just like you said, he's going to be right back where he was last year.
That's a great pick. Now
So,
we see who this guy goes.
so here I'm definitely going receiver. There's still a ton of great receivers to pick from. I mean, you got D-Hop still here, A.J. Brown. I think I'm staying away from A.J. Brown this year and Julio Jones just because there's so many mouths to feed in that offense. I think it's going to be a little bit like the Bucs offense last year. You don't really know who's going to go off in that week. So here I'm a little bit torn. I'm looking at Calvin Ridley, D-Hop, obviously, Terry McLaurin, but I think I'm going to go Calvin Ridley here. He's a clear-cut number one now with Julio gone. It's basically him and Kyle Pitts, and that's it. So I think he's going to get a ton of targets this year.
Yeah, I love that pick. That's exactly who I would have gone with. Atlanta's still a super pass-heavy offense. So I think guys like Calvin Ridley, I think Calvin Ridley has potential to be a top 5 fantasy receiver this year. Kyle Pitts, I'm extremely high on. I also like Russell Gage as a sleeper. So I'm excited what those 3 receivers can do.
Who are you looking at here for your next pick?
Well, I'm looking at Darren Waller right here. The 2 guys in front of me are auto, so he'll be gone. I like Clyde Edwards-Helaire a ton here. I like J.K. Dobbins. So I think right now, I don't know. I'd probably say my top 3 from right here are Keenan Allen, Clyde, and J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, I like that. I think J.K. Dobbins is really underrated, and he's gonna have a good year this year too.
Well, we look down the board. Swift's still there. Swift is definitely going to go higher in our drafts. I'm super high on Swift. I think I'm also super high on CeeDee Lamb, but I'm going to have to go Keenan Allen here. I know I drafted 2 Chargers players, but I think that offense with Herbert is going to be super dynamic. I think Keenan Allen's still going to have a ton of catches. And also a running back here. I know Swift's a little bit down the board. This is not a PPR mock draft, but we will be treating it as one. So I'm going to be taking DeAndre Swift here. I'm super high on him in PPR leagues. I love his pass catching ability. I think Anthony Lynn will definitely use that to the best of his ability, and he's definitely one of the players I'm super high on in this draft.
Yeah, I like that. DeAndre Swift. I mean, there's not a lot of talent there in the Detroit offense right now. It's DeAndre Swift, T.J. Hawkinson. They had a good draft. They brought in I forget his name, the guy in the 4th round that they drafted, but DeAndre Swift is going to get a ton of attention in that offense, all the carries, and he's going to get a lot of receptions too. So I like that. Here, I'm definitely going another receiver. I'm staying away from Amari Cooper. I think he's going to have a little bit of a down year with CeeDee Lamb coming up, but I'm not sure here. I'm a little bit torn. I like DJ Moore, Odell, but I think I'm going to have to go DJ Moore here. He's got Sam Darnold now. I think he's going to have a really, really good year this year. Here you could go a couple different ways. I mean, Mahomes is here. It's hard to pass up on Mahomes. I think I can wait on a quarterback, so I'm going to go running back here. There's still some pretty good running backs here, but I'm going with Damian Harris. I think he's going to have a breakout year with the Patriots this year. They just traded Sony Michel, so he's the number 1 running back now. And they're still going to be a run-heavy team. even with the additions they had this offseason.
Yeah, great pick. I definitely think Damian Harris is that workhorse in that offense. Maybe you see a little James White action, but I think Damian Harris is the reason they traded away Sony Michelle. So I think that's a good pick. Here I am in the clock. Mahomes is still here. That's super, super tempting. But I just don't believe in taking a quarterback this early. And I think if you got a guy like Kyle Pitts on the board, I'm absolutely going to pounce on that. I mean, he's definitely number 2 option in that pass heavy offense. So I think adding a guy like Kyle Pitts is great value here.
Yeah, I like that pick. It's tough to draft on rookies, but I think Kyle Pitts is the safest rookie to draft for sure.
And here we are again. I'm looking at a flex here. I definitely like T. Higgins a ton. I like Cortland Sutton too. Robbie Anderson, though, I like a lot. I think he's gonna be the number 1 receiver in that offense. I'm excited to see what he can do with Darnold. I'm gonna take Robbie Anderson here.
Yeah, I like that pick, Robbie Anderson. He's really underrated as well. He doesn't get as much credit as he should. So here I'm almost up. I think I'm going tight end here. TJ Hawkinson just went. That's what I was looking at. But there's still a lot of good options here. You got Noah Fant, Robert Tonyan, Dallas Goedert. Those are all 3 guys I like. But I think I'm looking at Robert Tonyan here for sure if he's still there when I'm up. That's who I'm going to go with. I like his pass catching ability, especially with Rodgers there. I mean, when you're playing with Rodgers, I think anyone's going to do good in that offense. But I like Robert Tonyan a lot, so that's who I'm going here.
Good pick. I definitely think some people could say these are reaches we're taking, but I think in fantasy football, I think there's no such thing as a reach. I think if you know the guy you're going to get and you don't think he'll be there at your next pick, then I think you should 100% take him.
So here, I'm looking at some quarterbacks here, but I think I'm going to wait till my next pick to go quarterback. And try to get a receiver or running back here. I like a lot of receivers here, but I think I'm going to go running back again. Try to build up that class. I'm going to go Myles Gaskin. Breakout year this year is the RB1 in Miami, and he's going to get a lot of the carries.
That was 100% going to be my next pick. I'm super high on Gaskin. I mean, I think he's absolutely going to be that number 1 pick. I'm just really excited to see what he can do this year. But as I'm up on the clock, we'll see what quarterbacks are available. I think I'm good to wait on mine a little bit. Actually, I think I might take one here as they're starting to go. But I'm looking at the receivers here. Chenault's still here. Some of the running backs still here. I like Mike Davis a lot. He's going to be that number 1 running back in that offense. I liked him a ton when McCaffrey went down with injury, so I'm going to take Mike Davis here.
Yeah, I like that. I was just about to bring that up, that he was great when McCaffrey went down, so I like that pick a lot.
And then right here, we see a bunch of really good quarterbacks on the board, but I still believe in waiting on a quarterback. I don't want to pass up. Laviska Shenault, we just talked about him. He's definitely one of the guys I want to come out of the draft with, so I'm going Shenault here.
Yeah, I like that. Just like you said earlier, with ETN going down, he's going to get a lot more targets, and he's poised for a breakout year.
Who are you eyeing at this pick coming up?
Well, this next pick, I'm definitely looking at quarterback. There's still a lot of good receivers here, but I think the receiver class is deep enough where I'm going to go quarterback. Get that guy that's going to lead my fantasy team, you could say, but I like to get a guy that I'm comfortable with. The quarterback this year, I don't think I'm going to take any risks. I messed up last year by taking Lamar Jackson too early, so I like waiting on the quarterback this year, but there's still a ton of good guys you could go with. I'm looking at Tua, Matthew Stafford I like a lot. Justin Herbert is still here. Those are definitely the 3 guys I'm looking at right now. But I think I'm definitely going to go Justin Herbert. He won Rookie of the Year last year. He's poised for another big year, and I want to see what he can do. I would like him on my fantasy team. Here I'm definitely looking receiver. Just went back-to-back running backs. I I'm staying away from DJ Chark, some injury concern there. But I definitely like Marvin Jones a lot here. It's him and Laviska Shenault now that DJ Chark's hurt. So I definitely like Marvin Jones at this pick.
Yeah, good pick. I definitely think with a rookie quarterback always looks for his reliable vets, and that's exactly what Marvin Jones brings to the Jaguars. I like that pick a lot. My next pick here, I think it's time to take a quarterback. I love Ryan Tannehill this year. He's throwing a Julio Jones and AJ Brown. I think he's gonna get a ton of passing touchdowns this year. I also like him. And then as you scroll down, you can't forget, just in case he's not popping up here. I also talk about Deshaun Watson. You can still wait on him. And as I'm looking who's here, I like Raheem Mostert a lot. I'm a big Melvin Gordon fan. I think he's definitely going to still be a stud. Michael Carter. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Michael Carter here. I like him a lot. I like his receiving upside for the Jets, and I think he'll be a stud this year for them.
Yeah, that's a really good pick. That was definitely going to be my next pick, but if he was still there, but I like that pick a lot.
And then right here, I know I said I was going to go quarterback, but just looking at the wide receivers, actually, yeah, I am going to go quarterback here. I can't wait on him any longer. I'm going to go Ryan Tannehill here. I think he's going to be a stud this year for the Titans. I'm excited to see what he can do with his new passing threats.
Yeah, I like that pick. In our fantasy league, the last 2 years, you've kind of had the number one guy, and you had Mahomes when he broke out, and then you had Josh Allen last year. So I'm excited to see what quarterback he drafts in our league this year. I feel like you always get the best quarterback, but
I already know.
I like the Ryan Tannehill pick a lot.
Yeah, but as I'm trying to find him, I think maybe someone already took him. He might just be down here, super far down.
At this pick, I'm on the clock right now. I'm a little in between on a lot of guys. There's not really a clear-cut pick for me here. You could go with like a Henry Ruggs or Jalen Waddle, but I think I'm going to go wide receiver here. I like Cole Beasley, but they brought in Buffalo added some pieces this offseason, so I'm not as high as him as last year. But I think I'm going to go Henry Ruggs here. I like his upside. He's a big play guy, and he's a threat down the field, so I like his upside a lot. Here I'm going to go running back, I think. I like Melvin Gordon. He's still here. Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette. It's tough to pick one of those two guys because it's a shared backfield. So I think I'm going to go definitely Melvin Gordon here. Philip Lindsay's gone, so it's all him this year. I'm excited to see what he can do, but I like him there a lot.
Yeah, Melvin Gordon, you can't forget what he's done in the past. I mean, at one point, he was definitely a top 5 running back in the NFL. So the talent's still there. We'll see if he can compete at that high level. They also brought in rookie Javonte Williams, so he'll be competing for carries with him. But I think Melvin Gordon's still the RB1 in Denver.
Yeah, definitely. So who are you looking at here? You got one receiver on your bench. Are you looking receiver here or running back?
I am looking receiver here, and I know he's a little bit down the board, but no, I think I can wait on him just a little bit longer. But I know I probably got to go running back, wide receiver, running back. I'm going to go running back, wide receiver, quarterback, tight end for my bench slots. So looking at the running backs here, I think I got a bunch of week 6 bye weeks, but those aren't my starters. I don't care really about my bench bye weeks as long as they don't match up with my starters bye weeks.
Quick, make your pick.
But as I'm getting pressured by Matthew Berry to make a pick, I'm going to take Trey Sermon here. I know I took 2 rookie running backs, and Michael Carter and Trey Sermon. But I like Trey Sermon a lot because Raheem Mostert just can't stay healthy, and he's the RB2 in that offense. So I like him a ton. And then wide receivers, you got a lot of good options. I mean, it's a really deep receiver class. I'm looking up his name. Marquez Callaway. Oh man, somebody drafted him. That was exactly what I was gonna. So with him gone, that kind of screws up my plan a little bit. But I think I'm
Quick,
gonna
make
go
your pick.
Cole Beasley here, just because he's super reliable receiver. I think if somebody goes down with injury, you can plug in Cole Beasley into your starting lineup in fantasy. I liked what he did last year, so I'm excited to get him.
Yeah, I like that Cole Beasley pick. I just think they brought in Emmanuel Sanders this offseason. So I think he's going to get a little bit less targets than last year, but still a reliable option for sure. I'm definitely looking receiver here. I got my eye on Elijah Moore. I think he's gonna show himself as a wide receiver one in that Jets offense. I'm not really high on any of these other guys, so I like taking a little bit of a risk here. So I like Elijah Moore a lot. I'm really high on him, so I'm going with him here. He's had a good camp and good preseason with Zach Wilson, so I like that for me a lot. So here I got 2 bench slots left. I'm definitely going backup quarterback here. You got to be safe with the quarterback. Never know if someone gets hurt or anything like that. So I like getting a reliable backup. But I'm a little in between here. I like Jameis Winston a lot. I think he's gonna have a great year this year. Tua's still there. I like Tua at this pick a lot too. But I'm gonna take a little bit of a risk. I mean, it's just a mock draft, so I'm definitely gonna go with Jameis Winston here. I think he's got some weapons around him. He's got Kamara in the backfield. He's got a good tight end. I think if Michael Thomas comes back, he's gonna have a really good year. So I like that.
Yeah, that's a bit of a risk, but that's still a good pick if you can narrow down those interceptions. And here, I'm definitely looking at a backup quarterback as well. I think the pick here, I'm kind of torn because I want to go Baker Mayfield here. I definitely needs to be good, but that offense is just so run heavy. He doesn't get the chance to pass for all those touchdowns. So I think I'm going to take a bit of a rookie gamble here. I'm going to take Zach Wilson. I like him a ton. I thought I liked him almost a little bit better than Trevor Lawrence in the drafts for long term, but I like him a lot. I think he had a Herbert type rookie year and receiver here. I mean, we've seen in camp, Darnell Mooney and Fields have a deep connection. So I think getting Darnell Mooney here is great value.
Yeah, I like that Darnell Mooney pick. I think to round out my draft, I'm gonna go backup tight end. I like all of my receivers, running backs I've got on my bench already. Backup tight end, I'm looking at a couple guys. I mean, Hunter Henry, I liked him a lot last year, but he's got to share the load with Johnny Smith this year. I think his fantasy value is going to go down. I like Austin Hooper, but just like you said, they're a really run heavy team in Cleveland. So I think to go to round out my bench, I'm gonna go with Adyn Trotman here. I remember you talking about him in our fantasy sleeper podcast that we did. I think he's gonna have a really big year. Jameis Winston loves those tight ends, so I'm really high on him too.
What defense?
So for defense here, I mean, this is tough, but I really like the Broncos defense a lot. I think they have the best secondary in the league. I like the Steelers defense a lot. Washington has a really young, good defense, but I think the safest and clear pick here is the Steelers defense. They're still one of the best defenses in the league, and you can rely on them every week to not let up any points. So I like that pick a lot.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see who makes it to me. I'm not sure why Dolphins are ranked so low. I definitely think they have one of the top defenses. Let me click on them right here. It's not popping up, but they were one of the higher scoring defenses in the league last year. They had a lot of picks. So Dolphins defense here. They have one of the best secondaries, Xavier Howard, Byron Jones. The pass rush, Emmanuel Ogbo was really good last year. Jerome Baker, I'm going to go Dolphins defense here.
Yeah, I like that pick. Dolphins defense. They're really, really young, good defense. They got some vets, got some young guys, so I like them a lot too.
And then kicker here, I got to go with the number one kicker in fantasy last year was Jason Sanders. So I'm going to take him here. Taking Dolphins kicker and defense.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get a chance to take the number one guy last year, I think you got to do it. So I like that pick too. I think I'm just going to go with whoever falls to me. I like Tyler Bass. I had him last year. Daniel Carlson I like too. So any of those guys I'd be fine with for my kicker. We'll see who drops to me. Young Hoku, I think he's going to go though with these auto drafts. Any of these guys are really fine by me to have. So
Carson
falls.
is my fantasy kicker for the past 2 years. So I definitely like him a lot. He's reliable.
And I mean, people underestimate kickers. I mean, if a kicker can get you 10 plus points, that can be the difference between you winning and losing in fantasy. So
Exactly.
you gotta get a good kicker. All right, so I think I'm gonna go Tyler Bass here. He's the number 4 kicker last year. I like him a lot. So to round out my picks, I like Tyler Bass.
All right, so our draft is complete. I'm going to go over my team, then Adyn will go over his team. My quarterback, I got Ryan Tannehill. I like him a lot. I think he can be one of the top quarterbacks this year with Julio, A.J. Brown. He has some scrambling ability, but I definitely think he'll throw a ton of touchdowns. I like Eckler and Swift a ton in PPR. Their pass catching ability, their rushing ability, I definitely think those two are the clear-cut RB1s in their offense, and they're both get a ton of volume. I like the Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen combo. I definitely think those are the 2 top fantasy receivers. So I'm glad I got both of them. And then Kyle Pitts, I like a lot. He's going to play all over the place for the Falcons, so he'll just be a threat. Robbie Anderson, I like. I think he's be the receiver 1 on the Panthers. My bench, I got Mike Davis. He's a running RB1, so I think anytime you get an RB1 off the bench is great value. You got Chenault. We talked about him earlier. Michael Carter and Trey Sermon are 2 rookies I like a ton. Carter, I think he's going to step in and be the RB1 right away over Tevin Coleman. I think Sermon's kind of like he's going to be that guy if Raheem Mostert gets hurt, which he most likely will. He always gets hurt. So I'm glad I got Sermon. And then Beasley is just a reliable guy. Mooney's a sleeper, and so is Wilson.
Yeah, I definitely like your team a lot. You got a very deep team, reliable team. You know what you're gonna get from all those guys. I mean, you got some rookies in there, but I think that you also know you're gonna get from Kyle Pitts. He's gonna be a stud. So with my team, I got Justin Herbert at quarterback. Running back, I got Alvin Kamara. Anytime you can get a stud like Alvin Kamara, I think it's good for your fantasy. I got James Robinson. He's top 10 running back last year in fantasy. He took a little bit of downfall for fantasy value when they drafted ETN, but now that he's hurt for the year, he goes right back up to where he was last year. I got Calvin Ridley. I think he's going to be top 5 fantasy receiver this year, so I like getting him a lot. DJ Moore. I like DJ Moore. I think with Darnold there, his upside goes up a lot, so I like DJ Moore. Robert Tonyan. I mean, he's top 5 running back or top 5 tight end in fantasy last year. And with Rodgers back, I think he'll be right there again. I got Harris. He's the number 1 running back, clear-cut number 1 on the Patriots now. He's going to get all the carries. He's going to get some catches out of the backfield too with James White. But I think he's had a breakout year this year. Steelers defense. I think they're the best defense in the league. They're right up there with. I guess they're not as good as the Rams defense. I still take the Rams defense, but definitely top 3 defense. I got Tyler Bass, my kicker. He's reliable. My bench, I got Myles Gaskin. I'm really high on him. He's gonna have a great year. Got Marvin Jones. I think he's gonna be right there with Laviska Shenault competing for that number 1 spot in that receiving core. Henry Ruggs, I think he's gonna have a better year than he did last year. He's got really high upside. He's a big play guy. He's fast. Melvin Gordon, I think he's the number one running back now in Denver. Philip Lindsay's gone, so he's going to get most of the carries now. Elijah Moore, I think he's going to be one of the best rookie receivers from this class. I think that he's going to be right up there with those guys that went high up in the first round. So I think him and Zach Wilson are going to have a good connection. So I like that pick for me too. Jameis Winston, I think he's going to have a great year with the Saints offense. He's in a better situation than he was in Tampa. New coach, everything. So I like Jameis Winston. And Adam Trotman, I think he's a sleeper tight end. Jameis Winston loves his tight ends, so I like that pick too.
All right, that wraps up today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed our live fantasy football mock draft. More interviews are on the way, so we're excited to share those with you guys. And make sure to like and subscribe. We're on the road to 100 subscribers, so a like and subscribe helps out tremendously, helps our channel grow. So
Comment down below who you think drafted the better team too.
Yeah,
Noah.
taking me all day. All right.
I like Noah's team, but I think we both had a good draft.